Hi, all friends and families, plus all the adventure seekers. Bradley and I took an amazing trip to the Andalucia region of Spain in the year 2025. I took some video footages as part of our souvenir and also to share them all with you. Um, I'm sharing these shots of our trip in their unedited original format, which means you'll see all the bloopers and awkward filming and lots of mispronunciation from me. So I'm sorry for that in advance. Um, so let's see on the iPhone. The Andalusia region, let me see if I can get a shot of that region in Spain. Let's see. Here's Madrid. And the Andalusian region is right down here. And it is very close to the continent of Africa down here. So we flew into Spain and landed in Madrid. So here is the map of the Andalusia region. Here we go. Here's Madrid. Madrid is north of here. So we flew into Spain and landed in Madrid, which is north of this Andalusia region. Here's Africa. And then from the airport in Madrid, we rode a train to our first stop in Cordoba or Cordoba. I've heard it pronounced both ways, so I'm not so sure which way is the correct way. By the way, thumbs up for their amazing rail system. I found it to be convenient, inexpensive, and very comfortable. The ride from Madrid to Cordoba. We stayed in Cordoba for 2 days on experience and saw some really cool stuff there. We were so blown away by being in the mosque cathedral. They call it the mezquita, with like Moorish architect mixed with Catholic iconography and motifs. It was I absolutely loved it. I really did. I really loved it. From Cordoba, we took another train to Seville. That's our second stop. In Seville, we experienced our first flamenco performance. It was done in a sort of a smallish, intimate theater stage. It was really cool. The performance blew our socks away, man. It was so good. It was like an art form that includes singing, dancing, instrumental music, and a bit of fashion, I believe. And all I can say was wow, wow, wow. There's also a lot of things to do in Seville. There's some light issue happening here. Sorry for that. Um, it's a large city with a river running through it and lots of history. We spent 3 days hitting just the highlights and sampling the food and drinks all along the way in Seville. From the airport in Seville, we rented a car and drove through the hills and the orange groves of Andalucia to a cool small town called Arcos de la Frontera. Um, we stayed only a day visiting old cathedrals, trying out a few restaurants, and soaking in the vibe. And most interesting is that it was my first time experiencing buying cookies made by a special order of nuns through an opening in like a wall of a church. Um, I have to say the cookies were delicious, amazing. From Arcos de la Frontera, we drove to a town called Ronda, close by, and we took some footages in Ronda of like really, really high, tall cliffs and a very well-known bridge. A very well-known bridge, sort of linking the cliffs together. It's just amazing, just a beautiful, beautiful town. We spent 2 days in Ronda, one of which we took a day trip to a cave very close by Ronda, somewhere around here, I believe, because we had to sort of backtrack. And there's a cave there. 40 minutes, approximately 40 minutes drive outside of Ronda. Now, this cave is so special because it contains like markings. Some people call it cave paintings. These markings of like horses and animals and even a fish um, on the wall made by prehistoric humans dating back to like 40,000 years ago. That's according to the carbon dating of the pigments that they used, to make these markings. So, um, sorry we weren't allowed to shoot inside the cave as requested by the operators. So, we had to respect their wishes. But definitely it was super cool and amazing. We had lunch that day in a small but very beautiful picturesque town near that cave. uh from Ronda, we took our rental car and drove through some heavy rain in the countryside, of course, filled with olive groves. There's so many olive groves there. We arrived in Malaga. Uh, and the first thing we did when we reached Malaga was to drop off our rental car in Malaga. So once we dropped off the Malaga, we then wanted to explore. And the first thing about Malaga is that you should know that it is the birthplace of the well-known painter Pablo Picasso, Pablo Picasso was born in Malaga, and he ultimately ended up in France, but this is where he was born in Spain. We went to a museum named after him and saw some of his artwork and learned about his life. It was a very short stay in Malaga, only 2 days, despite its it's a big city. We nearly exhausted ourselves cramming in as much as possible, and climbing up this huge, like, walking path up all the way to reach a castle on top. That was a tough, very tough climb there. Um, from Malaga, we took the plane and flew to Granada, where, like, the crown jewel of our trip was located. It is called the Alhambra. It is a feast for the senses, especially the visual senses in the Alhambra. My goodness, I did my best to capture a sense of the mind-boggling Islamic art and design there. It's the only thing I can compare it to is the Taj Mahal, because to me, like, they're both just super amazing, except one is in Andalucia, Spain, and the other one is in India. It was phenomenal. In Granada, we also experienced our second flamenco performance. Now, this time it was in a cave. Yes. Yeah, a full hour flamenco performance in a cave. It was incredible. The acoustics, in the cave was just, it took it to a different level. From Granada, we flew up to the capital again in Madrid and stayed 2 days there. Now, in Madrid, both days, we met with heavy rain. So, both days we spent them indoors, and the first day we went to see the collection of art at the Reina Sofia, and the second day we saw the collection of paintings and art in the Prado Museum. And here is a little, like, a handout floor plan from the Prado Museum. It housed, like, all the names. First of all, there were one, two, three, 2.5, like, levels of art. Floor 0, floor 1, and then floor 2. So let me just list off some of the names, like Goya, for example, Hieronymus Bosch, the famous painting, The Garden of Earthly Delight. Hieronymus Bosch is there. Raphael's. There's some medieval paintings. They had a special exhibition of El Greco, Tiepolo, Goya's late dark paintings were there. Velázquez, Titian, Rembrandt, Caravaggio, all the great Western celebrated name painters and paintings were there. It was a lot to see. We quickly went through them and saw the ones we wanted to see. It was just a lot to take in. But we managed to see everything. And there was a special exhibit featuring the German painter Sigma Poke? Sigmar, Sigmar, Polk, Polke, which was he was a contemporary artist uh, around in the 1950s and the 50s through the 80s. Anyway, um, then we flew home after Madrid. I uploaded the video based on the 15 days we were there. So enjoy.